Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Get Lit. My name is Shayna, and I love children's books and the lessons that they teach us adults to help us to become better. So, you ready? Let's get to it. So, story time, right? Years ago, I met this artist. I want to say it was during the National Black Arts Festival here in Atlanta. So, years and years ago. And something that he said really stuck with me. He said, it's a good piece of artwork when you see something new every time you look at it. Yeah, think about that for a second. So I think about his words frequently because I absolutely love African and African American art, as you can see behind me, this piece by Leroy Campbell. Um, so as I began preparing for our read for today, um, it hit me perspectives. And for us to be such unique beings, we are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made, masterpieces designed by God Himself. I believe that. And for years, I included in this affirmation that I created for my students, and I had them to repeat this particular line. Well, they had to do the entire affirmation, of course, but this was how they ended it. I am a masterpiece. And I've even taught it to my boys, and they say it on their car ride every morning on their way to school. I am God's masterpiece. Um, but the question is, do we really believe that we're masterpieces? Do you think that you're a masterpiece? How do we see ourselves? And what do we actually see when we see our reflections? Who is it that we see in the mirror? Um, do we see everything in those that we come in contact with and what they see? I don't even know if that sentence made sense. My bad. But we're multidimensional. Um, and how we show up many times is how people see us or perceive us. Or is it? Perspectives are powerful because our perception many times is based on our experiences or our biases, which is something we all know, right? So I came across this book not too long ago, and the book is called "They All Saw a Cat," and it's by Brenden Wenzel. It received the Caldecott Honor Book, I want to say in 2016 or 2017. But this book beautifully illustrates how the same cat can be perceived in vastly different ways by various creatures. And each perspective is valid, yet it's incomplete. So let's get to it. Our read for today: They All Saw a Cat by Brenden Wenzel. They All Saw a Cat by Brenden Wenzel. You see it? I'm gonna have to hire a cameraman soon. Just kidding. All right. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the child saw a cat. And the dog saw a cat. Do you see where we're going with this? And the fox saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. I'm trying to expand it a little bit so you all can see it better. There we go. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the fish saw a cat. And the mouse saw a cat. And the bee saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the bird saw a cat. And the flea saw a cat. And the snake saw a cat. And the skunk saw a cat. And the worm saw a cat. And the bat saw a cat. Yes, they all saw a cat. Yes, they all saw a cat. This is actually my favorite picture in the book. Because here you have the same cat, but yet pieces of what all the creatures have seen in him, their perspectives. A child, a dog, and a fox, and a fish, and a mouse, and a bee, and a bird, and a flea, and a snake, and a skunk, and a worm, and a bat. The cat knew them all, and they all knew the cat. And the cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. Then it came to the water. And imagine what it saw. And I think that is the most powerful line in this book. The end. I wonder what the cat saw when it saw itself in the water. And there was another thing that was striking to me in this book. And it was the author's use of a and the when describing the cat. And so I needed to brush up on my English grammar rules because I knew this was not coincidental that the author used both articles when referring to the cat. So, in short, for those who don't know, when you use a to describe something, it means something is unspecified. So, a cat, it can mean any cat. But when you use the word the, it refers to something unique in nature and specific identity in context. The cat. So I find it very striking that the author, when he spoke about the child and the cat and the fox and the mouse and all of these different creatures, they he specifically said saw a cat. Um, but when the cat was walking through the world, he was the cat. And so it just put my mind just in a whirlwind of how many times we generalize certain things and how many times we really need to own into what is different about this thing. What's different about me? I am me. I am Shayna. There's a lot of different Shaynas in the world, but I am my own person. But when I walk into a room, am I just a woman? Am I just a mom? Am I just a black woman? Am I just a Christian? Who am I? I am Shayna. I don't want to say the Shayna. That's kind of weird. But you all get what I'm saying, but it's those perspectives. And so I just thought that was really interesting how with the picture based off of who saw that cat, how their perspectives, showed how they viewed the cat. And then we get to the end and it's okay, so what does the cat see when he sees himself? I hope that made sense because it made sense in my head. Okay, anyway, brief tangent. But when we're talking about, perspectives, um, what do they see? And going back to the book, the child saw a playful companion. The dog saw a potential chase. The bird saw a predator. The fish saw a distorted shadow. And so oftentimes I think that as adults, we often assume our understanding of the world and people in it as the absolute truth. But in Wenzel's book, it's offering us this reminder that our perception is just one of many. So we're going to unravel just 3 quick lessons and I'm going to let you go because I know I have rambled a whole lot today. All right, so lesson number 1, the subjectivity of reality. The core message, I believe, in this book is the profound subjectivity of reality. What we see, how we interpret it, is shaped by our individual experiences, our senses, our biases. The cat isn't one single entity, it's a collection of all these different experiences depending on who is observing it. And as they saw a cat, encourages us to question our own assumptions and to recognize that our perspective is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. And what seems obvious to us might be entirely different for someone else. Lesson number 2. I told you I was going to try and keep it cool. The importance of empathy and different perspectives. By showing the cat through the eyes of all of these different creatures, the book is subtly fostering empathy and it's inviting us to consider how others might experience the same situation or person in a completely different way. And understanding these different perspectives is crucial when we're talking about building stronger relationships and navigating this diverse world that we live in. So, being able to step into someone else's eyes and trying to see the world as they do can break down a lot of misunderstandings and foster deeper connections. This is also very important for those of you who have children or have children in your life to help them to understand various perspectives and the importance of understanding and honoring other people's perspectives. All right, lesson number 3 is our last lesson. The limitations of a single viewpoint. So, going back to, having that empathy, none of the observers, none of the characters in this book see the whole cat. They see a piece of who that cat is. And their perception is limited by their own sensory abilities and their relationship to the cat. Similarly, got tongue tied, relying solely on our own viewpoint can give us an incomplete and potentially biased understanding of any situation or person. And this book encourages us to actually seek out multiple perspectives, to listen to those different voices, and to be open to the idea that our own understanding might be limited. And for adults, I think that is where we have to be humble enough to understand that what we see necessarily is not the whole picture a lot of times, and to be able to accept other ideas and other viewpoints that help give us a broader understanding, a broader viewpoint of various situations. The more viewpoints that we consider, the closer we can come to that complete picture. So, as I close, and thank you for those of you who are still yet holding on, They All Saw a Cat is a deceptively simple book, as you can see by the repetitive nature of the author's words. But yet it has, the profound message, that we've gone over. And it's that our perception shapes our reality. And by understanding different perspectives, we gain a richer and more empathetic view of the world and the people in it. So that's all I have for y'all today. I would love for you to share your insights in the comments below. And if this episode opened your eyes, please like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell for more literary life lessons. And also, something new that I added. As I was thinking more of how to connect more with you all and for you all to take deeper dives into this book, I had an idea. Ding, ding. As a former ELA teacher, I was like, why not offer up some journal prompts? So in the comment section, you will see that I have added a few journal prompts based off of this particular story. And I might go back, I don't know, we'll see. I might go back to our previous books that I've read for the show and add some journal prompts for those as well. But it's just to help you with some deeper thinking, some deeper reflection on some of these lessons and some things that you might have noticed in the book. But I look forward to your comments. And until then, keep observing, keep listening, and keep getting lit. I'll see y'all next time. Here's the book. They All Saw a Cat by Brenden Wenzel. See you next time. Bye.